I'm tired, I'm hungry, and I want to go home. And I'm clearly tired because I don't have any makeup on. It's fine. I don't care.
I'm pretty tired. Think I'll go home now.
Hi, guys. How are you all doing? I hope you're well. How am I doing, you ask? I want to go home. I was supposed to go home this weekend after the hurricane came, but I was talking to my friends in Florida and they were like, you don't want to come here because gas is still crazy in the state and there's no gas. And so I'm stuck waiting another week until I can go home. And I'm mad about that because there's another tropical system developing in the Atlantic.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
I'm going to be driving home anyway, so I don't care. Hurricane Milton hit my area last week. You wouldn't believe what I did, but on Sunday I had packed up everything. Everything was ready to go in the car. I even put my cat in his little carrier, poor thing. And then last minute, my friends were sending me posts from Facebook, people saying there's no gas north of Ocala and south. And main interstate, gas is hard to come by and traffic is terrible.
It is what it is.
Another positive development is that my storage unit finally called me and said the storage facility is okay. Nothing happened. And I was like, oh, thank the Lord, because I was so worried. For 4 days, we heard nothing. And I was so worried that my stuff was just sitting under a busted roof with water coming through. Everything I own is in that storage unit. The only thing I have right now with me is my pet and my clothes and my suitcase, and that's it. It's really tough when you want to go somewhere, but then you look at extenuating circumstances and outside factors and then you realize maybe it's not the wisest decision right now. So what are you going to do? Nature is going to nature. So I don't know if any of you guys have ever been like involved in a natural disaster and had to leave and come back, but it can be really draining if you stay. And it can also be draining if you are not there, because just worrying about people and things and trying to plan when you can go back. And it's a lot to deal with. So I don't know. I've been kind of filling my days with work and then watching. You know what I've been watching? I've been rewatching New Girl. I've also been watching Will and Grace because I just love that show. And I've also been watching Schitt's Creek. If you have not watched Schitt's Creek, you are missing out on life. That show is so good. Dan Levy, if I'm mispronouncing the last name, I am so sorry. Forgive me for my sins. I love him. He looks exactly like his dad, Eugene. And I first remember seeing Eugene in American Pie when I was younger. But yeah, guys, the hurricane just it did so much. And the irony is it didn't really do any water damage where I live. It flooded the area above me and below me, but it was the wind damage. So what had happened was Helene came through, did the water damage, and then Milton goes, oh, you didn't finish the job, bitch. Well, let me finish the job for you, and came in and the wind blew everything. So we got the water and we got the wind. We're done now. There's certain years where there's back to back to back storms. The last year that I can remember is 2004. There were 4 hurricanes that came and hit the state within 6 weeks. No cap, I'm not lying. I'm I'm telling the truth so hard that I just went full Gen Z. No cap, no lie, all facts. And the crazy thing about Milton was that it didn't just affect the area that it hit. It spun up tornadoes on the whole other side of the state. And you don't want to be in the outer bands of a hurricane. Bro, you just don't. Like, that's the worst. I would rather be in the eye of the hurricane than in the outer bands, because that's where the tornadoes and stuff spin up. And those tornadoes were no little tornadoes, okay? There were some like EF3s and EF4s in there, like mixed in like a freaking Chinese buffet. Like, I'm not even kidding. It was like minor ones, and then it was a couple major ones, and it literally just wiped. Like, those people weren't prepared for it either, because tornadoes are more scary than hurricanes, in my opinion. They're faster, there's barely any warning for them, and they will chew you up and spit you out, quite literally. When I was there after Ian had hit, a lot of it was like cash only. You couldn't get money at the ATM because everyone was taking money out and bleeding it dry. So you had to have cash on hand. No one was taking cards because the electrical systems were down. So it's just like you got to just prepare for that stuff. And it's just really draining having to do it in back-to-back situations. Next weekend, all good. I'm gonna get to see my friends. I'm gonna get to see, my grandparents, and we're gonna go out and we're gonna get some hot wings and margaritas. Okay, hot wings and mojitos. I don't drink margs. My bad. Mojitos, please forgive me. I love a good mojito. I will never turn a mojito down. You put a mojito in front of me? Yes, ma'am, I will take that. Thank you. I don't care what flavor it is. I prefer the traditional kind, but anywhere you go, it's weird. Nobody ever makes a mojito the same way. I am a mojito snob. That is the only drink that I do not tolerate if it is messed up, because that ruins the whole experience. And if you know, you know. So, there, guys, everything's good. Everything's copacetic. Everything's cool. My friends and family are okay, which is number one. Number two, my stuff is okay. So, that's off my plate. Number three, I just need to get home. How's everything in the Bridgerton world, by the way? Or should I say Lucula land? I literally haven't even been looking Instagram. I've been looking, there hasn't really been any developments lately. And I think it's really interesting that Luke and Nick haven't really posted a season selfie this season. So I'm wondering if they have even been on set together or if they actually have filmed separately so far. Because, they don't need to be on set together like all the time. They can film scenes separately too. So I'm curious to know because I saw Nick at the Time 100 Awards. Girl looked ravishing. Girl looked like $1,000,000. That black on her is a freaking godsend, honey. And that dress looked amazing. It looks so good. I just want to marry her. I just want her to marry me. Have you guys seen the Great British Bake Off where Nicola and the Dairy Girls cast were on that show? I want to do a reaction video to that because the first time I saw it, I cracked up so hard at that one woman. I don't remember her name, but I think she plays Sister Michael or something. Oh, she cracked me up in that show. I'm just gonna have to do a reaction video to it because it's freaking hilarious. I have it saved on my drive, ready to go. We got lucky. We got so lucky. And I don't know if we're going to be able to stay lucky for this long because it's been 100 years since a hurricane actually made landfall in my area where I live. But now they're actually making direct landfall. So I don't know how lucky we're going to be in the near future not to get a Cat 4 or a Cat 5 because the ocean temperatures are constantly getting hotter. And that is a prime breeding ground for these storms. Why do I live in that state, you say? I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know. I can't explain it. Ugh, I get tongue tied when I try to, but it is what it is. Cross your fingers for me, and I'll be touching base real soon with another video. Bye.